Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to talk about how living abroad has changed me and how it has not just been a change in location but also a change in perspective in how I conduct myself, my perseverance, my tenacity, and my overall sense of being. So without any further ado, let's just dive right into it. One of the most powerful concepts that I learned as soon as I stepped outside of my comfort zone country and the home that I used to live in for years and years is that you need to build yourself in a way that there is no need to ask for help from others. There's a concept called SISU, which is a very famous Finnish concept, and that basically is an idea of quiet resilience. Like, you need to be resilient enough to withstand all the calamities by yourself and on your own. And it really is something that you need to imbibe in yourself before you step out of your house, because you're gonna face so many things, from bureaucratic procedures to people giving you all kind of troublesome time, you wandering in different directions asking for help and ways, but then at the end of the day it's you and your own intuition that you have to trust the most. And Sisu basically is a Finnish concept, especially maneuvering through the troublesome and chaotic settlement outside of their country. I'll just give you a small example. Like, back in my home country, I didn't have the need to do house chores. I didn't really have to carry the load all by myself, and it's kind of a cultural shock as well. Like, back in Pakistan, I never used to have to carry the weight, whether it's shopping bags or grocery bags, because there are men doing all those things, house helps who were helping you with the weight. But when I came here, I had to carry the shopping bags, and I kid you not, it might be sounding really minute, but it is a game changer for people who have not carried load, especially for women, because that's just not how we are raised. And that is what I acclimated myself into and made myself habitual. And then I discovered one good thing, that I really had that potential and that strength inside of me, and maybe I just needed a push, and I just needed an excuse to find out that it did exist inside of me. Living abroad has also taught me how there is so much strength in just showing up in some situations, and you really don't have to push yourself so hard, but just being there and knowing that you can do it on your own, and just like trusting your instincts is, I guess, the best thing that happened to me. And it's something that only happens after it breaks certain parts of you, parts that were entrenched in your soul because of the way you were raised and the culture that you were brought up in. And it's not a bad thing to adopt new things, because the only people who survive the fight of the evolution are those who adapt and who transform, because metamorphosis is the most important of all human powers. I cannot stress how important it is, because it's something that takes a huge part of your day and your overall life, and that is food. So breaking away from the traditional palettes is very important. Why am I saying that? Is because sometimes you're going to be having an unavailability of the ingredients that go in your traditional food, and sometimes you wouldn't be able to nail the dish that your mom used to make for you, and it's just going to be a bummer, because if you're very conservative in your food tasting and in your overall cuisine choices, you're just going to have a hard time, because it's not that things are not available, it's just that sometimes they're not available abundantly, or maybe they taste different. And that is why it's important for you to adjust to that change and open yourself to new flavors, new cuisines, and just learn how to be okay with the blandness, because sometimes things are gonna taste way different than they used to at home. And I think that food should be the last thing that you worry about, because there are so many things that you worry about eating, and like, this department of your life does not deserve you to be stressed on. And I think that just learning how to cook and being okay with eating different food and not worrying about eating a particular kind of food, more importantly, is something that I learned, and is something that I carry with myself, because I think that is one of the greatest assets, because wherever I go I can cook for myself. I really cannot stress enough on this thing, because once you're going to move abroad, the one thing that you're going to face is the epic silence everywhere. Because when you're coming, especially from the countries that have a lot of noise around you in terms of people or traffic or whatever, you do often get a big cultural shock when you move into places that are quieter, and that alone makes a huge difference in how you perceive loneliness. Because loneliness is not just the absence of people, it's also the unavailability of that white noise around you, if you know what I'm saying. Like, sometimes you do need to put yourself out there, and you have to start adapting to it in ways like just taking a walk on the street without wearing headphones, for starters, because that is going to actually slowly and gradually teach you how to be okay with all of the quiet bird chirping environment that is around you. So it took a little time for me, because I wasn't accustomed to that much silence. And yeah, it does bring that conformity that now you are in a different setting, a strange feeling to you. But that was something that I was chasing, because I was so fed up of all of the chaotic, loud noise pollution that was there in my city. So I did welcome it with warm, huge arms. But at the same time, even things that you welcome sometimes can be a little irritating at moments, because you do crave that sense of belongingness. Like, I do find myself craving of the little noises here and there, but then that's okay, because I think that sometimes in the silence around you, you often hear yourself loud enough than you used to. Don't be hard on yourself. And this is a lesson that I have learned with time, because in the beginning, everybody who moves abroad wants to perform their best, and they just want to nail everything that they do, whether it's studies, whether it's work, job hunting, or whether it's just like assimilating in the society that they are moved into. But I think everything should be done in a pace that it naturally aligns with, because if you're going to do something just for the sake of it, it is not going to bring the results that you want. In a new country with a new set of languages and new people, new thinking, you sometimes also try becoming, that people pleaser kind of a person, and you try to just like paint yourself in the invisible ink and want to vanish, and you don't want to be seen as an outsider, and for that you go really hard on yourself and you punish yourself for things that you don't deserve to get punished for. And I've seen this happening so many times with all the immigrants. Something that contributes to it is plethora of judgment that comes to their way, gazes that they go through on a daily basis. But what you need to learn is that if you're not doing anything wrong, then doing things in your own way is not wrong. And living life on your own terms with your given timeline and the pace that suits you is the best way to move forward. Living abroad means being misunderstood by people, system, and sometimes even by yourself. You try to stay calm, but at times you end up questioning your own self-worth, and that's very common, because what moving abroad does to you is that it makes you start over, and when you start over, you have to erase certain parts of yourself, and you are basically a nobody for everybody. That itself is a very hard pill to swallow, because you've taken so many years of yourself in building your image and your reputation and your life, basically, and when you have to start from the scratch, it takes guts. And to everyone who does it, eventually, I would say there is nothing but so much deep respect for them in my heart, because I know what it takes. And I mean, when I ask you to wear a thick skin, I'm not saying to become cold or to be indifferent. What I'm actually asking you is to know that you can be okay with every judgment that comes to you, but at the same time you need to remain kind, not just to others but also to yourself. Because if you're gonna start absorbing everything that comes your way, you are not gonna take a lot of time to have a nervous breakdown, and that is not what you want. And let those preconceived notions and judgment have their way, and let them not shake you. Question yourself, because at the end of the day, what truly matters is how you see yourself and how well you know yourself. Moving abroad is not just about moving into a new location, it's about changing your outlook and breaking so many habits, learning new habits, and transforming yourself into a new person while keeping some good bits of your older self intact. I hope you like my video, and I would be so much looking forward to listening your thoughts in the comments below. Please like my video and share it with your friends and family, and subscribe to my channel and hit the notifications bell so that you get notified whenever I upload a new video. I'll meet you in the next video with something new and exciting. Stay tuned and take loads of care of yourself. Goodbye.